to introduce somebody that most everybody in here knows and probably doesn't need an introduction. Nelson Figueroa, the owner of Millennium Luxury Coaches.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Is this thing on? Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna take about 20 minutes to talk to you about batteries. Just kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke. So I'm gonna try to do something here for a second. I said, Alexa, set a 30-minute timer, please.
30 minutes, starting now.
All right, so 30 minutes starting right now. Alexa's gonna be telling me when we're done. So again, my name is Nelson Figueroa. I'm the president and founder of Millennium Luxury Coaches. We started the company back in 2000, and believe it or not, I started a service company. It was a small shop in Sanford. We wanted to do service work, my passion, what I do. We from there grew to another building, a 38,000 square feet facility. Steve Sigler sold me my first shell, and we started working from there. And today we house a 120,000 square foot facility with over 100 employees, building exclusively on the Prevost chassis. We have a full paint and body shop, 29 full hookups now. We had our campground redone, completely paved, 29 full hookups, sewer, water, and 50 amp, no cable. So you bring your own satellite. This past year, we delivered 15 new coaches to the industry. I think we were one of the top ones that were able to deliver that many. Sorry, I did not have a fancy PowerPoint presentation, so I was taking notes. My wife said, practice it, but I like to wing it because it has to come from the heart. So I am so honored to be here in front of you and to be a part of this industry. As folks have come through here now, Frank and the folks from Marathon, you're gonna hear from Federal here in a little bit. I am so honored to be part of this industry and work with them. People like Jamie. Jamie, thank you for putting this together too, by the way. But they're innovators. We change the world, we change things. We make things better. So everybody that you see here today is all part of one big family, and I'm just so pumped that I'm part of that. Part of the Millennium difference, and everybody, their core business is the same. We have to have 24-hour service. We have to have an after-hours call. So I can tell you, go down the list that we have to have lifetime warranty on cabinetry. We have to have lifetime warranty on floors and countertops and that kind of stuff. So everybody kind of does the same thing. So I'm not going to repeat that. Just assume that if they have it, but we have it better. All right, thank you. My background is at 17 years old, I tricked my mom into signing me off to the US government. I joined the Army. I was a special operations aviator, worked avionics, so I'm a backup guy. So I'm the guy that likes to fly, never been a pilot, but I know avionics, I know systems fail, I know how to, so I'm a failure guy too. I like to know what's gonna break, so then we can back it up with something. Back at the shop, we have what we call destructive testing. So we test everything to the point of destruction. We know what the weak points are, we know what to look for, we know what to change, we know what to not do as we move on. Tyler, would you grab me my water? Oh, here it is, sorry, give me a minute. So one of the differences from Millennium, what is one of the differences in Millennium? Our build process is different. So we don't call it production because we really don't have a production schedule. We start working on a coach and to me, they're all custom. They're all custom built. So if it takes us 6 months, if it takes us 5 months, it depends on what we're doing to it. I've had a coach that I built that took me a year to build, but that's because the customers, wanted something super special. And we cater to that. So we're not gonna put somebody on a window, or we have to be 80 days or 120 days. We are gonna build it as it comes, and then we're gonna do the best we can with what we have and deliver the right product. The construction, the cabinet construction is made out of poplar. Poplar is a European wood, and the reason for that is no formaldehyde. Who here knows about formaldehyde? It's a carcinogen. It gives you cancer. And most things have it. The carpet, my clothes, the drywall. So we try not to put more into the coach than we need. That's a confined space. So we do a poplar construction. We do real wood veneer, What that means is from Holland, we pick the tree, we pick the planks, they make the veneer and ship it to us. 6 months later, we get it. We do a polyurethane finish, so all the edges are sealed, just like in a medical environment or aircraft. So the aircraft cabinetry industry is the same. So at our shop, we have an aircraft cabinetry manufacturing facility, basically. Excuse me. So that poplar construction also reduces the weight for the overall weight of the coach. Now, what other alternatives we have for weight reduction? I like, and our customers like, real granite countertops and real floors. So how do we do that, without the weight? So we take our countertops and we thin them down to 1/4 inch through a CNC machine. Then we line it with fiberglass. Once that fiberglass is dry, then we put poplar back into it, and those countertops are guaranteed for life. Not just to the first customer, but to any customer. So that coach, second owner, same way. Now, that's on our new coaches. Our used coaches, you've heard of CPO, Certified Pre-Owned, and extra warranty. Every coach that we deliver from our place will have a warranty. We started last year with a full across-the-board CPO. So if you buy a used coach from us, we are going to go through it. We are going to put new batteries, new tires regardless. We are going to do a full PDI services, so when you leave with it, it's going to be if it was a brand new coach, and that's a guarantee there. So I was telling you earlier about service, and this industry, and you know what I'm talking about when I say service. This industry is only alive based upon relationships and service. So I could not be in business if I was not friends with these folks right here. I'm just picking them because they're front. If they didn't know me or I didn't know them. So if I didn't have that connection, that personal connection, we would not have a business. But that connection too could suffer if there is a service issue. And service issues do happen. So how do we attack that? About 3 years ago, I decided because we were flying people here and there, somebody would say something and we would go and take care of it. We decided to do what we call a concentrated service effort. And what does that mean? We have right now we have 2 vans, a van and a truck. We're getting 4 more vans this year. We're going to stage them throughout the country. We're going to have technicians that come from us to those vans and then work their way back home, visiting all the customers in their path, in their way. Now, we have a lot of customers up in Mountain Falls. Anybody here from Mountain Falls? Mountain Falls up in the mountains? No? So yeah, we have a lot of customers up there. Over 25, 30 coaches there. So instead of waiting for a phone call, we make that phone call. We call our customers and listen, we are going to be up there from here to here. Do you need anything? Yes, okay, write it down, bring the parts, make sure we're good to go, make sure we have all our stuff ready to go. So we do that throughout the country as well. Indio, California, anybody from Indio? Palm Springs, man, hitting 1,000 here, there you are. Whew. Well, it gets hot up here, huh? Under the gun. Say what? It's no, especially you. I know it. So this concentrated effort has really paid off for us because the way that we approach service, because it's my passion. I love to service. Our company was founded on the certain based on service. We just started building coaches and happened to be pretty good at it. So when we go out into the United States, and we take care of our people will come back to us and remember us always. And that's our number one priority. When you call our place, I have a 5-minute callback policy. So when you call any number, any manager, any service department, you call and you cannot get to that person that you're calling, they have 5 minutes to call you back. The receptionist has been instructed that if that person cannot call you, and if she can't find them, that they need to call me. And if they call me, then there's a problem. So I tell you that your calls, 5 minutes or less. If any of you have experienced that before or not that before from our company, let me know that then I can go back and turn some heads. But that is another thing. How do we, I run the company and I own it and I manage it when I'm there, but I'm not there today, right? I'm here all week. So how does a company run like that without the big head, right? Well, I have a little head right below me. Whoa. Got it. I didn't think you guys were going to get that one. But this guy, this general manager, has 4 criteria that he needs to, man, you guys are tough. 4 things that he looks at when he runs into a decision. If he needs to make a decision, this is what he does. He goes, number 1, am I going to do the right thing? You got to do the right thing. So he starts with that, do the right thing. Number 2, am I taking care of our people? The people that I work with every day, the people next to me, am my decision going to hurt them? Number 3, we going to take care of the customer? Not are we? We are going to take care of the customer. And number 4, we're going to protect the brand. So when we check all those boxes, then we know we have the right decision. So they said, we can do all that 2, 3, and 4 we can do, but how do we do number 1? How do we know what's the right thing? And I say, it's in your heart. You follow what your heart says. Don't worry about the wallet. That'll come. That eventually will come back to you. So anyway, that is our service motto. So what we built, what I have here for you today is part of our home automation system. And we have talked about Crestron and AMX and you name it. Everybody's got everything. So I used Crestron for many years. And I was getting, in trouble a little bit. We were having issues and things like that. So I decided to look for something else. Before that, let me take you back. When we started our company back in 2000, I wanted to use an electrical system because I'm also an electrical engineer. I wanted to use an electrical system that I did not have to build, meaning that I did not have to have somebody in our shop building. I wanted to use something off the shelf. So talking to people in the boating industry, they use Lutron. And how many of you have heard the word Lutron? Lutron home automation. I'm pretty sure everyone here has a Lutron light switch at home. Pretty much. The guys invented the dimmer back in the 50s. There are 3,600 dealers in the country. They're in every continent in the world. And they have which is what I love, because remember, I am a failure guy. I like to see where they have a 0.03% failure rate. Per industry standard, 0.03% failure rate. Other systems out there have as high as 20% failure rate. And I tell you, on previous systems prior to our Savant, I experienced whole 20%, on every time, and almost every customer. So what is Lutron, really? It's actually the brains of the bus. And why Lutron? So why do we pick Lutron? Why did I say Lutron? I have it at home, so I know that it works. Now, in a coach environment, when I went to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I said, I want to put this in a motorhome, they laughed. They said, you're crazy. You should not put that. This belongs in a 20,000 square foot house. And I said, well, this is a 350 square foot bus, but it's probably as worth as as much as that 20,000 square foot house. So they go, oh, now we know. Now we got it. So I went through training, and we ended up with Lutron. I did the first one myself, second one programming, so I can program it. I have it at the house. I work with it at home. But I wanted to show you a sample of what it can do. So now Lutron, of course, is all digital. So now there's no proprietary software. Anybody can work on it. There's 3,600 dealers in the country that can service it. The warranty is the best. It's an 8-year parts and labor, and we supply the labor after the 5th year. But parts and labor is 8 years. The secondary system that we use, we'll talk about that next. But Lutron has been around, like I said, since the 50s. Now, when we look at Lutron, these 2 boxes, when you guys are done, these 2 boxes that are the aluminum boxes, that is all that's in our coach. There's nothing behind cabinets, there's nothing behind curtains, there's nothing, you don't have to pull your clothes out to get to it. Everything is gonna be mounted down in the bay. Now, what else is fancy about Lutron? It's a dimmer. We can control our lighting. It's all, our LED lighting is controlled through it. We reduce the number of relays. We reduce the number of fuses. Now, at home, how many of you at home go to your breaker panel to flip a breaker? Anytime? Never. You go to your breaker panel when you have a problem, right? That's when you do it, when you have a problem. That is the same thing with this Lutron system. We don't have to flip breakers because it's a home automation system. So now when we decided to build coaches, when I decided, I'm like, I am tired of this breaker thing. Having to worry about managing your energy, managing your breaker. My wife in the back, can I turn this on? No, you can't turn that on. Can I turn that off? Blow dryer going, trips the breaker. It's just ridiculous. So back in 2006, we decided to use 4 inverters, 3,500 watts. So now that took away the can I turn the blow dryer on? That took that away. But there was still the thing about, what can I run and not run? We decided to take the panel from inside of the bus and move it downstairs and close it up. So unless you have a problem, then you don't have to touch it. So building the motorhome like it's an extension of your home is what I was after. So basically, when you walk out of your house, the same things you do at home are the same things that you're gonna do in the bus, except the sewer. The sewer is gonna get you every time. I've not been able to get around that deal, but everything else, I remember my kids, and I'll be driving, and I'd love to drive at night. My kids would be in the back, and they would be fighting. My 2 kids would be arguing with each other. I'll have a movie playing, and I just go to the dash and boop, turn the turn the TV down. Dad, the TV, something's wrong with the TV. I said, you'd stop fighting, I'll turn it back on. How do you do that? You're magic. But it's not, being afraid of a remote. How many people just don't want to, when we deliver coaches now, brand new ones, people come in and they go, do I need a week? Do I need 2 weeks to figure out how to work this remote? With Lutron, you don't have to worry about that because it's just like your home. It's exactly like your home. And we're making it easier as we move on. Now, you've heard of Crestron, of course. We just had a presentation by Frank. Great system, by the way, awesome system, not for us. What I did is I went to Apple-based system. So I went to the best home automator in the world, which is Apple. They actually created a software called Automator for just that. Steve Jobs, when he was building his boat, he commissioned this company in Boston to make him a system based upon or around the Mac Mini. And they did. And of course, it's on his boat now. He's not around to use it, but the boat has it. It is a super nice boat. So what happened when we went to Savant and eliminated Crestron, we went from a stack of equipment that was about 3 feet high to 5 pieces of equipment. And that to me is important because the less pieces of equipment you have, the less stuff that can go wrong, right? Now, one of those 5 pieces of equipment is a backup to the main processor. So we have a Mac Mini running the bus, but there's a backup on the other side of it, just in case. It's automatic transfer. Now, when that happens, I get an email. Personally, and our service department gets an email. About a year ago, my service department thought something was wrong with our backup reporting system because we had not one yet to date received an email. So of course the bean counter says, well, why do we use it then? Why do we have a backup? I said, because the moment we take it out, it's gonna be a problem. So I'm afraid of it. I said, if we can do it, do it. Do the backup. So when we look at our rack real quick, and I don't know, I see you guys kind of have it a little low, it's a little heavy. It's only 4 or 5 pieces of equipment, all made by Savant. Basically what this does is allows you to do basically anything audio, video, control, lighting. Now they talk together by one cable. Believe it or not, this Lutron box is connected to the Savant box by one little network cable. And that's how the world is today. It's all network connection, right? We were able to put the satellite receivers in the same rack, but then we ended up with some room. What I did is I added a DVR, digital video recorder, with cameras throughout the coach that are recording for 2 months straight. So it's gonna be like 4 terabytes of space. Now you say, why do I wanna record my cameras? You'd be amazed in the world that we live in today, what cameras do. It might not be for you personally, but for your neighbor. I had cameras in my building. And one day I just started checking out the camera in one of the buses, and there's 5 of my guys having a coffee cup at 5:15 in the morning. They started at 5. At 5:15, they're goofing off. So I'm like, but my cameras didn't catch it. The building cameras didn't catch it. The bus cameras did. Those are remote. Those are remote cameras that you can get from your phone. Now we had an incident where the lady was driving, and this truck came over and purposely hit the bus, and they pulled off, and they actually blamed the driver of the bus. And the husband was in the back, and he says, no, we have a camera, and very clearly to the cops right there, the guy got ticketed, and it was an insurance, the insurance was like done. By the time that it was, the claim came around, they supplied the video, done. We caught people stealing bicycles, stealing motorcycles, flattening tires on trailers at Sturgis. I mean, so these cameras do work. Now we implemented the 360-degree camera. So how many of you guys got that in your car? 360-degree view. Unbelievable. So now we're able to have an emoji of the bus, a picture of the bus, and we can see all the way around the bus, along with the trip camera, which is a forward-facing camera, backup cameras. And now, so it's being recorded. Now, how many of you have to reset your satellite receivers? Press the little red button, right? Okay. So we have to too. So we're not good. We're not that good. But what we do is you don't have to touch that satellite receiver. You go right to the iPad, to the screen on the iPad, and says, reset, reboot my receivers, please. And that is it. We still have to do it, but we don't have to go in the closet, and we don't have to go hunting for stuff, and we don't have to fight it to do that. Our dimmer switches are solid state, so there's not gonna be any noise on the LEDs. There's not gonna be any sound. And let me tell you another thing that we do that is a little different, is that we use 12-volt AC instead of DC lighting. We use 12-volt AC. It runs cooler, it runs better, it lasts longer, and most of the houses are gonna be either 12 or 24 volts AC. And that's what I'm telling you, building it like a home with a backup. When we come here to Savant, back to Savant again, we talk about Lutron. Savant is very minimalistic as well. So everything that you see here is what it takes to run the bus, from the awnings to the auto start, to the tanks, to the generator, to the water pump, toilet flush, you name it. This is it right here. This little box right there is an energy management system, residential energy management system. And now, folks from California and Oregon and Washington that want to save the dolphin, they want to monitor that power, and they want to, because they're off the grid sometimes. They're using inverters, they're using batteries. They want to see what they're using, and they want to see history, because when they have history, they can go back to their power company and they get a rebate. They get a rebate back. So this is what it does. Not on the bus, of course, but you can't do it here. But it is there for us to monitor, because we don't want to control your power consumption, because we don't have to. We don't have to control it. 4 inverters, remember that. 4 alternators going down the road. You don't have to run your generator. We don't have to control your power. You can flip whatever you want on and off. What it does for us is it tells us if there's something wrong, even at our factory. So if I see an air conditioner that's supposed to be running, remember the watt thing and all that watt and amp hours and all that? It's supposed to be running 1,500 watts and it's running 17 or 1,800, we know something is wrong. Most likely it's going to be your filter that needs to be cleaned. But if it's any more than that, we can see it. We can see temperature spikes, we can see power spikes, we can see your generator, if both lines of shore power are coming in correctly, if both lines of the generator power are coming in correctly, and it's all done through the iPad. Now, when I say iPad, it's not the same as using an iPad with the Crestron system, because this is Apple-based. It is just like using your iPhone. So when you do page flips, it flips the page, it knows where you are, it doesn't try to turn your TV on again, or things like that. So when you leave the page, you come back to it, it knows what it's doing. One of the things, if you look, Lutron also has 2 processors. So again, failure guy, I don't want to fail. If I do fail, I want to have a backup, and that's what we do. We put them in every single coach, every single Millennium. One of the new innovations that we've started to, we got a Alexa. If I say it too loud, she'll wake up. So we have Alexa. All right, she's still asleep. Good deal. And Alexa helps me control the coach now. And now, why do we need Alexa? Well, you know what? We have it. It's available. It's in people's homes. So why not put it in your home on wheels, right? We also, I brought a sample of a shade, because we all have electric shades, but now we all have the same shade. This is a shade made by Lutron. And if I can have you guys, just be quiet for 1 second. Alexa, turn shade down on.
Okay.
You hear that? Can you hear that shade? You don't hear it. Silent. Silent night. Alexa, turn shade up on.
Okay.
I like her because she says okay with so much passion. Doesn't she? Does. She's like, she's really okay with that. Seriously, don't you think? She's really okay with that. She's like, okay, why not? So we can do through the Lutron and Savant. I can actually tell Alexa, where are the Prevost guys? Okay, Steve. Okay, I can tell Alexa to put my slide outs in. I can tell Alexa to flush the toilet. I can tell Alexa to turn the lights on. But watch this, because she's smart too. Alexa, turn the lights on.
A few things share that name.
So now
Which one did you want?
She's calling me an idiot. She goes, she is. She's saying, wait a minute.
I didn't find discover
Okay.
me an idiot, she goes.
All right, you're off for a minute. Don't you wish you had that button? I have it. So Alexa, I just asked Alexa to turn the lights on, but there's 1,500 different circuits of lights in the bus. There's salon lights, there's galley lights, there's inside lights, outside lights. So basically, very nicely, she said, there's many things called lights. Would you please specify? So we're going to try again. Alexa, turn the lights on.
A few things share that name. Which one did you want?
The lamp.
Okay.
So then she knows where the lamp. Thank you. It's sorcery, I'll tell you. It's sorcery. So now we can control individual lights. We can control the TV. We can tell it to go to CNN. Not really, because I took that command. We go to Fox. But we can also do. You guys are too much. Do you guys already started drinking, or what's happening? It's 3 o'clock, Jamie. What's going on? 2 o'clock. So watch this. Now we can do multiple commands, which is what we call in the geek world, which I'm not part of. It's a lot of, but I am kind of in. We call it a macro command. So one command will do multiple things. And now watch this. Alexa, turn on morning.
Okay.
So in morning, you don't need your light on. Alexa, turn on night.
A few things share that name. Which one did you want?
Good night.
Okay.
Okay. So what she's doing there is she's putting the lights, turn the light on, my night light on, and then take the shade down. Alexa, are you awake?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good for you. Can you turn the lamp on to 50%? Oh, you don't like that one, huh? Alexa, cancel. Alexa, turn the lamp on to 50%.
Okay.
Okay. So she gets fussy too. She gets a little gutsy, and I think she's getting tired of me calling her Alexa. But bottom line is, folks, don't be afraid of technology. It's here to stay. When you're looking at a coach, and when you're looking at something, like I said when I started, I'm so honored to be working along Featherlight and Marathon and Liberty and of course, with our greatest partner in the world, Prevost, and their innovations. It's humbling to think, this little kid can sneak into this party and still, bring something to make you laugh, right? But at the end of the day, when we decided to build a coach back in 2000, we said very simply, we're gonna build the best. We're gonna build like we build our home. We're gonna have the best people. We're gonna have the best training. We're gonna have the best service, and therefore we're gonna get the best customers. And that's what we've done since, and that's what we're gonna continue to do. This year looks very promising. We have a couple of coaches here you guys can look at. Alexa can be retrofitted anywhere from 2013 forward. We can, every coach that we've built has Lutron in it. So as far as retrofitting that, you don't need to. We just reprogram and update the software. Savant has been since 2013. So if you, Crestron was before that. Now, what I'm doing is on those Crestron coaches that I'm reselling, I'm going ahead and switching it to Savant just because of the serviceability and the availability of it. But if you have any questions, I'm here to answer your questions.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.